how are you this morning? Today is December the 13th and we are painting the northern spotted owl, which is this photo that I have of the northern spotted owl. I'm going to see who is joining us this morning. Let's have a look. I don't know why I can't just go to the live. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not there. Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. I have this owl and then I have this picture, which isn't the brightest of pictures. And I may make it, I'm going to make it a little bit brighter. This one I found on Museum by Sketchy as well. And I really like the colors, so I'm going to enhance her a little bit just so that I have a little bit more light shining on her. I don't really need more contrast or shadows, highlights maybe. That's good, and brilliance, I can up the brilliance slightly. I'm not going to have her hand in there too. Good morning everybody, how are you today? Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to really try and push to see how much we can get done today. Dylan's took me an extra, I don't know how many hours yesterday, but I did get it finished, but it was a little bit of a longer portrait. It definitely added a lot more to it, and so we'll see. I think I'm going to start by putting the owl in this piece to make sure that I can fit the owl in. Actually, no, I have to start with the face because I want the owl probably sitting on her ear. So let's have a look. Shapes, get the shapes in. Good morning, Meryl. Hello, Louise. Louise says, morning, Dylan's portrait turned out amazing. Thank you. I was very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. And if you're over on Museum and you like getting your portrait painted and you want to post a picture of yourself in profile image, do. I will have a look at it if it's something that is if it's calling your name and I like it, then I may paint you. I can't say I can paint everybody though, because I'm a little bit picky when it comes to this kind of thing. Okay. Nose. Get her nose in. I'm actually really enjoying painting profiles. I know that Meryl, you're doing some profiles as well. Are you enjoying them? Good morning, Louisa. How are you? Oh, sorry, I'm very low down here, aren't I? I will push myself up slightly. Trying to speed along and get this portrait sketched on here quickly. I was just saying, Louisa, if you if you want your profile painted, and I like the photo that you post on, I don't know if you're on, are you on the Sketchy app? Some people are on it, some people are not on it, some people don't like being painted. I'm really just on it because I want to paint people or draw people. I was looking at my portraits, scrolling back through them, and yeah, I think these 3 years of or 3.5 years of practicing daily has definitely helped and improved my portraits. I don't know, I'm sure like a lot of you feel the same with your work. Those of you who have been constantly doing a lot of work. Can you hear Piper? She's barking. Like she's down with me today. Piper, stop barking. Piper. Okay, well definitely her neck needs to be wider, and hopefully the owl is going to put on here. Louisa says, I'm not aware of being... Shush. Okay, hang on a second, everybody. Don't bark. I just let her out into the hallway. She can go and bark out there. Louisa says, I'm not aware to being painted, but I am not photogenic to the point that I would post many pics to be painted. I do have pics with birds already on my head though, LOL. Oh, well, are we painting a pigeon at any time? We do. We have the Lord Howe pigeon, or Howe pigeon, on the 23rd. Could you maybe send a photo of yourself and then we can do that one? That would be cool. Louisa says, Piper, you have to keep the internet going. Yes, she does. She has to like run on that little treadmill. Hang on a second. Enough. Come. Back in. No. Back. Go. No barking. Go. No barking. Come on. In my room. No barking. Go under. She's so cute. So, Pipe. Okay, stop. Stop barking. Stop barking. You want to come sit with me? This is why she doesn't usually come down in the morning. So Piper's cute. So when she gets, when she barks or feels threatened, she has the back of her back just sticks up like a little mohawk. Hello, C. Sue says LOL, LP, and then LOL Piper. I know. She's really cute though. I love when her little mohawk comes up. I'm like, oh, that's cute. You're protecting me. Okay, but stop now, Piker. She's a piker. She's a pied piper. Okay, you're coming up with me. You're not barking anymore. Come here. You can come and say hi to people. Remember when she was so tiny that she could basically, look at her. Come here. She could basically sit with me up on the desk. Now she's a little bit bigger. Hello, good morning, Sarah. How are you? I'm drawing with Piper on my lap because she's barking because the PSW came in from my parents-in-law. She's usually upstairs. It's okay. She just has to get used to it. There's a little ear which is probably, well, no, it's not going to get covered. Actually, I'm just looking at the angle here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about Piper. She used to come and sit up here on the table, and she was just little like this. Now she's a lot bigger. Not too much bigger, but yeah, she is bigger, definitely, for sure. Today's workshop is taking place at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's going to be very relaxing. If you're not used to collaging, that's fine. Really, I'm just going to show you a few different ways that I would approach images, and we're just going to have fun. And you can bring paints as well. You can make it into a mixed media piece if you want to, but I know that a lot of you guys here have signed up, so it's going to be fun to sit and chat with you guys. If you can't make it, don't worry, you can get the replay. Alright, portrait done, and let's go to the owl. We're doing the northern spotted owl today, and I did turn this owl. Owls, for me, owls are very difficult because I find the owls that I make always end up looking very cartoony. Like, quite very cartoony. Yes, she ate all my paper, but that was Scott's fault because Scott said just give her, like, scrunch up some paper and give her paper to eat. Remember that? She did. She ate a lot of paper. She ate a lot of paper. Okay, Pipes, you're kind of like in the way. She's sitting on my lap. Okay, I want to get the feet. I'm going to put the feet on here, which means I may have to make the owl slightly smaller. No barking, Piper. Do you hear her growling? She's growling. So I'm only going to be able to fit one foot on here, but as Louisa says, it's okay because a lot of times birds will just sit on one leg. So this owl just is going to have to sit on one leg. Oh, Piper. Oh, Piper, Piper, Piper. So I'm just blocking the shapes that I see here. Oh, maybe he will fit on here. He's going to be fine, this little owl. There we go. Its little head, I think I got too much up here. Let's bring it down slightly. I know you're not very comfortable here, Pipes. I know you're not. But I don't want you barking, right? It's not like on Zoom that the bark is muted. It's quite incredible that it can do that, but I can't do it with this, with the YouTube. No barking. Hey, Tash. C says, right, Scott. And Meryl says, standing on one leg is like humans leaning against a wall. Oh, really? That's interesting. I did not know that, Meryl. Okay. You gotta go down, but if you bark, then I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. No barking. Okay, that's better. I was like drawing a 1.5 feet away from my drawing. Piper? She just can't resist. She cannot resist the bark. She has this little like woof, woof, woof. I like how this owl looks like it's raising an eyebrow. Like those are the eyebrows there. Okay. Eyebrows and top of head to make sure that I get that in this area. This can be a little bit wider, I think. And then we have all the different feathers. We have these ones, we have the little ones up here. We have the longer ones. And then we have the much longer ones. Hello, little owl. All right, let's get cleaning up and then we can start painting. Was that quick? Was I quick today? I think so. I think we're moving along. Because I've got a workshop today and I would like to get this finished. It just may not happen though. Probably is not going to happen before the workshop because I got to take Piper for a walk. It's actually not bad out there today. I thought it was going to snow, and it may snow later, but it's not as cold as it was yesterday. All right. The owl is brown. So I'm thinking I should probably do, have I done it? I have done a yellow background. Have I done I haven't done a green background for a long time. Maybe I'll do a bright green background. We'll get the background in first, and then we will get the face and the owl in. And I've got a lot of colors on my palette here, so I can use those for some of the background. Let's get a big brush out. Okay, that's really, really bright. Not sure if I'm going to mix in a little bit of the surrounding, the neighboring colors, just to dull it slightly. Okay. Oh yeah, I like that color. And if I make a very simple pattern, and that shouldn't take too long. Who is painting with us this morning? And are you painting the owl? Bonjour, bonjour, Alessandra. How are you? We just started. We got the quick sketch down, so I'm ready to start painting. I am starting to paint. How is everything in Paris, or just outside Paris? Okay, her hair is light, so I want to try and keep some of that here by just feathering into her hair area. I know I can go over with gouache, but as I say, if you can try and keep a little bit of that brightness by either leaving the paper and then just working very lightly over the top, I think you can obtain a much brighter light area instead of painting it all and thinking that you can capture that light after the fact. I don't think you can. Maybe with oils you can, but even that, a lot of people, they use acrylics underneath oils to create that that glow, and then they use oils over the top of acrylics, which was something very new to me, what I learned this year from listening to people and their methods. Ooh, not being very careful with the outside lines here. Is Martina here? Martina, did you try your hot press paper? I got a little dot of red on here, and it is definitely making my green a little bit more of a olive green, which I'm happy with, is fine. C says, oh yes, owls are a bit tricky. Wish I had picked up on the layers of longer and longer feathers. Ah, yes. Have you already done yours today, C? That's impressive. Okay, so I'm gonna paint, just get a base coat of this. I can still see my feathers underneath. Just a wash of gouache so that I can see the shape of the bird on top of the portrait that I'm doing, which is from Museum by Sketchy. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I took a screenshot and I do have it saved, but I will post who it is later. But I didn't screenshot the name when I screenshotted, which isn't very clever. But I do have it in my saved. Nice thing about Museum by Sketchy is that you can save your... I have so many saved portraits, but you can save them, and this way you can go back to them. A little bit like Unsplash, you can have your favorites and go back and see what you've saved. It's very handy. Very handy. Okay. Not really green up here, but I just do need to get a little bit of some color on here and the beak. I have a dark brown from yesterday that I was using for Dylan's hair. I can put that in the eyes. Oops, these eyes are getting so big. It's okay, I can go over and make them a little bit smaller. It's just the brush that I'm using is not the best. It's a little bit flimsy, so I'm not getting the precision that I want to get. I need to pay a little bit more attention to these, but I'm just getting some color on here. A little bit more contrast. Because I still have to do the background, and if I don't do the background yet, you think you all can make it through another 15 days? Or no, it's actually 18? No, is it 18 days? We have 31 days. 31 days in December, right? Okay, another 18 days, 17 days. My math isn't very good this morning. C says, almost done. You're almost done. Wow, that's good. Well done, C. Okay. Just gonna pick up some of this color up here. Probably should have sprayed my palette a little bit. Making sure there's no bits. Okay. I have lots of bits, but they are rock hard. But it wasn't too excessively wasteful. I just have to activate the paint again, but it's getting stuck in my paintbrush. I almost need to crush it a little bit, I think. Get the pigment moving. What are those called, those little pigment crushers? It's almost like a pestle, but it's flat. Where do I get one of those from? I think that would be great to crush a few dry pigments that I've got. Does anybody know what it's called? I could have just taken some fresh blue, couldn't I? take note. Do not put your little lines, if you're doing something like this, too close together, because if not, you won't have room. C says, I've been up all night, so I started a bit early and no face. No face on the owl, or no face as in no portrait? Sorry, I just looked up and saw your comment. So this is the owl, so that doesn't, I don't need to have anything there. I can put a few more little leaves here, and I need something darker than this, much darker, so I'm going to bring the blue into the brown down here. Is that dark enough? Yeah. Lots of little bits. No human face. Ah, okay. There's a bit. Don't like the bits. I think I need it to be slightly darker. I'm going to put more blue. Oh, I took the wrong blue. Never mind. Never mind. Look, it's always at the same mark, around the 40-minute mark, that I haven't even gotten her face colored in yet either. I think I like this. See, I could do just a pencil portrait too. I do like that look where you have a painted background, painted clothes, and then just a pencil drawing. I did used to do those as well and really enjoyed those as well. But I'm going to paint this one. I like this color. So I did use a little bit of umber, of burnt umber in this blue, just to get this. It's almost like a Payne's grey, I think. I would say very similar to a Payne's grey. I don't think I have Payne's grey in gouache. Just very randomly placing these seeds in my piece. When you're doing a pattern, I like mixing it up, so I like having an over pattern. I call it an over pattern. It's like a layer. This is why using Procreate for patterns is so good, because you have the layer, you can move it around, but make sure that one of your elements is in a different or varied orientation to the first one, just so that it ties it all together. Like, especially when I'm doing like an overlay, I'll try and be very aware of making sure I have something that is everywhere and not just linear. It doesn't always happen like that, but I like those patterns that I create like that. I think it has a better flow. And if you were to put it on a piece of fabric, you could use it right side up, upside down, back to front, kind of thing. You know what I mean. You don't have to keep it just one direction, which I think seamstresses like when they don't have to worry about direction. That was a chunky branch. I don't do it all in 1 hour though. See, that's the thing. I don't. Like, you say it's amazing that I do it all in 1 hour, but I don't. Like, these portraits are taking way longer than I was anticipating. I thought I could do everything in 1 hour, but I can't. I'm going to make all of the branches a little chunkier, because I can't go back to the thin branch, so I may as well make them a little bit thicker. It just make more sense. This one is way too thick. Oh well. I think I can use this color also for the eyes. I'm going to go back into the eyes with this color. Alright, I'm going to switch my brush. That's not the right brush, that's a watercolor brush. Definitely need some blue with this burnt sienna. And I'm just going to get some very dark darks in. My very messy palette. I may change my palette when I start doing the face of this girl. Gouache is all about the right consistency. And if you don't have that, it's very hard to do like details. Birds have a lot of feathers. You're like, yeah, they're birds. Okay, I'm gonna get started with her face. I did focus a little bit more on the bird today, and just a little, but not much. Can I think I can use a little bit of this color down here. My water is dirty, so I have to watch that. Let's just keep the light on her face with this wash, like even not going over the light, making sure I keep those areas bright. And also because her hair is extremely light, I want to pay attention to that too. So you can see I've kept all the whitest areas and just left them on the paper, because this way I know where the light is on her face, and that's what I got to try and keep and not lose when I'm putting more color on. Because the owl is on her head, she's going to have a shadow, but not here, because if you look at the light, it's coming from the left hand side on her face, so you got to keep it consistent with the owl. So the front of the owl is going to be a little bit brighter, and back here is going to be a little bit. I can look at the shadow of her hair, and I can put that in place now. And then a little bit under here. this color also, even though it's the wrong color for her eyebrows. But just to emphasize the shadow and where the light is. There have to be a lot more layers anyway on this, but I'm just picking up whatever colors I have on my palette and trying to add those a little bit in here. I know that I need a little bit more of a brighter red in her ear, but I'm just gonna get the shaded areas in. C says they are birds and they have feathers. Yes, they are birds and they have feathers. I'm going to go back to, actually, hang on a second. Her eyes are blue. I'm going to get those in because it's the right blue that I have, which is the same color as the background there. And then also get the white of the eye is definitely not white. I would say it's a little bit more blue, so I'm going to get that in as well. And there are certain areas on her face that are a little bit more on the cooler side, so looking at those as well. Like her hair. You guys awake this morning? You just, I know, it's a quieter morning. I don't know why, some mornings are just so much quieter, aren't they? If you're listening in the car to me, you're probably like, yeah, you're not very chatty this morning. I've had one coffee, but it didn't do too much. I think I'm thinking things in my head of what I have to do as well. So sometimes, you know, when that happens, I can't talk at the same time as well. Louisa says, not especially awake. And Louisa says, well, it's hard to type and paint. That's true. Oh, you're painting. Great. That's good. Okay. I actually really like this, what's happening here with the bird. Let's go back to the bird. I like how it's just blocked, but actually, like, there is a little bit of like pushback and pull to that area. So I'm gonna mix up some more of these colors. I definitely need more red, I think, and a little bit of yellow in here. No, too much yellow. Definitely on the warm side, these feathers. eyes need to be smaller, so I'm going to work into that area that I've got, which is dark, and just make the eyes smaller. That's better. They were just way, 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 way too big. Okay, just looking at direction of all the feathers and the little markings. There's not much brown down there. Don't really need to bring that brown down there. And lightening up this. How are we doing for time, everybody? Oh my goodness, 7 minutes to go. How did that happen? I have no idea. I really want to do the Henley School of Art portrait session today, but I have so much to do. I'm like, I don't know if I should, but it's, oh my god, is it Naim? I'm gonna show you. Let's have a look. It is, oops, wrong one. Hang on, here, because I just shared it. Henley, here. No, that was Mariana. Nazim, that's it. I couldn't remember her name. So Nazim is the girl who's doing the portrait session today, and she is amazing, amazing, amazing. And I love her face, and I'm hoping that I can do it, because then I can maybe use her face for one of the bird portraits, maybe a weekend one. That would be fabulous, because then I wouldn't need to do a weekend one if I dedicate, okay, I'm talking myself into it now. If I dedicate the 2 hours of drawing portraits, hopefully I can get a really lovely portrait of Nazim, and I won't have to draw one of the portraits this weekend. I can use it for that. I can just put a bird over her head. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. If you've never done a Henley School of Art portrait session, if I was you, I would treat yourself to it, because it is 10 UK pounds, but it is so worth it. Models cost a lot of money, and to get a 2-hour session is quite spectacular, and Jo really runs her sessions very well, so it's if I was you, I would definitely sign up for it. I think I'm gonna try. Okay, look how dark that went. That needs to be lightened, and I think it's because my water is so dirty. Okay, let's get some more white on here. And lighten that. Actually, this is a very good color for the face, but I'm gonna get it up here on the owl, eyes. has to dry. It's picking up what was underneath it as well. Let it dry a little bit. All these little marks, the lighter marks on the owl, I have to wait to do. Okay, back to her face. I think she has a tiny little bit of blue in her skin tone, so I've I've darkened the white with a tiny little bit of blue there. She does have some yellow as well tones. And some pink, obviously. Now, maybe that is a little bit too blue. I'll just leave it there a little bit, and then I'll come back and adjust. But I had some more red on here. It's not picking up the red. It's okay. I think whenever you have a color on your palette though, or on your brush, and even if you don't particularly, it's not the color that you were gonna use, have a look at your piece and see if there's an area where you can use it, because maybe you'll surprise yourself and realize that, hey, that color is actually good for that area, so you can use it then. And it's amazing what a color sometimes looks like in different areas of a piece. Like here it looks really ochre-y, but then up here it looks a lot warmer. It is time already. Oh my gosh, it just flies, doesn't it? I hope you all have a really lovely day. Thank you for joining me again. I really do appreciate you being here. Esty, we are thinking about you and your country, and we just pray for peace every single day, all day, because I can't even imagine what you're going through, what a lot of the world is going through, and it's not, it's hard to know what to do other than be thinking of you. All right, well, I got a lot to do, but this is the beginnings of another 3 hours after this project. Louisa says, well, it's hard to type in paint. Yes, I read that. Making a bloody dispiriting mess is what I am doing. Oh no. And C says, so rich and full. Thank you, C. Sometimes you just need to do what you want to do, right? Right. Yes. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you. I look forward to finishing this one. I feel like it has similar tones to this one, but not super similar. I'm trying with my I'm trying with my skin tones to be a little bit more realistic, but I think this one is going to look similar to this one as well. It's just looking a little grey and dead right now, whereas I love the glow of this one. And I think Dylan's had a good glow as well. So anyway, have a good day. I will see some of you at 10 a.m. and until then, bye everyone.